Ooh, she fine as
CJ,
hell.
nice
Sip of that
spread.
shit.
What's your problem, CJ?
What's up with you?
Family's for life, you know me. Fool, who you hitting up?
I know you ain't got no dick, but maybe you got heart, homie.
What we waiting on? Trying to punk me, you
Hey,
dickhead?
stay close.
CJ, them shoes. Them some fly shoes, dog. CJ, you hear me, fool?
These rap fools be needing bodyguards, huh?
Weed money, same.
Damn, you G'd up, homie. Whose weed is this anyway? What up, dog?
I know you ain't got no dick, but maybe
Good
you got
looking
heart,
out,
homie.
Whatever you need, CJ.
You give a fuck about your set, homie?
His family's for life, CJ.
Quit back.
Looking like a G, CJ.
Last night someone gave me an ass of fire.